So today I have Tetsujin 28 Go, Super Metal Action by Evolution Toy or Future Quest or something. And I'm getting a lot of reflection on this one. This is a big figure. There is my Soul of Chogokin. It's about a 5.5 or 6.5 inch figure, and then this is the big boy. This is listed in at 12.69, so this is one of my biggest. This one is a monster. And he's got a lot of panels that can open up. They don't open particularly easy. You kind of have to pull them out and then swing them open. So this is a metal hatch. The figure has some really good weight to it, but you would expect that for that size. Fully articulated fingers. The only issue I have is with this thumb, which just pops off with the least provocation. So my figure has a lot of dust on it. I need to give this guy a dusting. So this is another one of those figures where you could see the interiors a little bit like King Arts, but not quite as much. So I can remove this, look inside. I believe there are light up features. I want to say there are light up features. I have to look. I got to remind myself if this has light up features. So here it is on Big Bad Toy Store. $499. This one was expensive. This one was super expensive. But I like the look of Tetsujin 28. Do I think it's too much for the figure? Yeah, I do. I think that's a lot. That's a lot, and it is a tall figure. But for $500, I don't know that I got $500 worth of figure here. Tetsujin is a very simple design. There's not a lot of always a problem trying to do this with one hand. He's got some clicky ratchet joints, except they're not clicky. Okay. There you go. Now this picture on here, this is deceptive because it shows a split down the middle. That is not how it looks. You can remove the front panel. As I showed here, you can remove that. There's a panel here that will open. I'm not even going to try to show it because I could barely do it with two hands, much less one hand. And you would expect, for that amount of money, that they would be easier. Again, this is not accurate. It is not split down like that, but it does show the panels open here, panels open there. Let's see. So this is more accurate to what it actually looks like with everything opened up. So I don't know if... Okay, so here he's doing some... And he does have... I can't remember the name of the boy. So, he can definitely pose, but it's a very simple figure from Gigantor, Tetsujin 28 from, the 1960s when this started. The backpack, so in the cartoon, the backpack would clamp on. Okay, and I'm not going to demonstrate it, but that's how it works here also. It clamps on. On this figure, and I think a vast majority, it's just kind of molded into the body. So it's not real. This one is real. You can kind of see the space in there. Kind of the reason I'm showing this right now is because I found out that they are releasing Tetsujin 28 FX, and you can see in there, that's, I assume, what Tetsujin... Well, or that's Tetsujin. Oh, I guess that's Tetsujin back there. Okay. So I don't know why Tetsujin is getting put in the background and we have another robot here. I know that they have tried experimenting with other looks. The 1980 series had a very different look for Tetsujin. Let's see here. This is the other look for Tetsujin. I'm not a big fan of that one. I never had an interest. Now, this one does have a 28 on it, so I'm going to assume that this is like a new version. And there's the original, because it does have a 28 on it. So we had there was the original series, which was 1960, then 1963, 1980, and then Tetsujin 28 FX, 1992 to 1993, 47. Then we have the 2004, and that was directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa, who I think is a fantastic director. And this was a really good series. I enjoyed this series a lot. And he also did Giant Robo, and he did some other things. And so I think that of all the directors of giant robot anime, I would say he is far and away my favorite. I don't love everything. He also had his hand in some... oh gosh, what is it? I can't think of the name of it now. I'm drawing a blank. But he also had, let me just click on his name. That'll get me to it. Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. He did, let's see here. Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which I hated. I thought it was the worst Gundam series that I'd ever seen. But he did Giant Robo. He did Get a Robo Armageddon, but he left fairly early on. He did only 3 shows. And he's done other things, but I really enjoy his directing. I believe he's retired at this point. I don't even think he's 61, so he could be still working, but I don't see anything on here beyond 2014. So this is a very simple design. Despite its girth up here, it actually stands quite well. This is plastic, probably a good thing. There is definitely a mixture of plastic and metal, but again, it is a very heavy figure. The legs are a little wobbly, and that's generally the case with these larger figures. The bigger the figure, the harder it is to keep it tight. And this is a big figure. This is one that this is one of those ones that I would say looks really impressive on a shelf, particularly if you know who Gigantor Tetsujin 28 is. I think that fans of the character would really enjoy seeing this figure, particularly with that size. I think other than this might be the tallest figure I own, other than the really tall ones, like the Shogun Warriors. And I do have another figure that is more in the 18-inch range. But for a fully articulated plastic and die-cast figure, this is one of the biggest I own. It's again $500. I had a little buyer's remorse after I got this, because that is so much to pay. And there's definitely figures that I own that were less, that I like more. But I'm not sure that I necessarily regret getting it, because Tetsujin is such an iconic figure. He is definitely one of the most iconic in all of the history of mecha. So I don't know if there's a more impressive Tetsujin 28 out there, but this one is definitely an impressive looking figure. So that's Tetsujin 28 Go.